With the impending release of the most anticipated PlayStation 5, the days of the PlayStation 4 are numbered. What to Play celebrates the console's success in a presentation of 25 of their best titles so far, all arranged by Play Scores. The Play Score is an average of gamer and critic ratings. To know more about the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, check out our website. Link in the description box below. Starting off our list is Batman: Arkham Knight. Become the Bat in Rocksteady's explosive finale to the Arkham trilogy. For the first time, the series take control of the iconic Batmobile and dominate the streets with the Caped Crusader's intimidating hunk of metal. Explore Gotham like never before and face off against a slew of Batman's worthy adversaries. It may have suffered some losses after the abysmal PC port, but the PS4 version reigns supreme as the ideal console for the world's greatest detective swan song. A Play Score of 9.03. At number 24, it's the Talos Principle Deluxe Edition. Devolver's perplexing philosophical puzzle game gets a more refined upgrade from the original. Assume control of a sentient AI tasked to solve humankind's greatest mysteries. Uncover secrets and overcome a multitude of brain teasers while being bombarded with life's biggest questions. Existential dread might be a side effect here, but the complexity of each of its puzzles makes the journey better. A Play Score of 9.04. Swinging into number 23 is Marvel's Spider-Man. Your friendly neighborhood superhero swings to the PlayStation 4 as an exclusive. Hailed as one of the best games of 2018, Spider-Man wows players with its satisfying web-slinging and fluid combat. Live dual lives as Spider-Man and Peter Parker and take down the many villains of New York's Rogues Gallery. A sequel is in the works and it might be coming out for the PS5. Marvel's Spider-Man receives a Play Score of 9.04. Number 22 is Night in the Woods. Indie games compensate their minimal budget for an impactful narrative and relatable characters. Night in the Woods manages to hit those marks with a strong story tackling the problems of adolescence. Explore the fascinating environment Alec Haloka and his team presented, and get to know the many locals with their very own stories. A Play Score of 9.05. Painted into the 21 spot is OKAMI HD. One of PlayStation 2's celebrated titles, play as the legendary Amaterasu in the form of a white wolf and save Nippon from impending doom. Make your way around the ink-washed painted beauty of ancient Japan and eliminate the 8-headed demon Orochi using the power of a magical paintbrush. Not a mere port, this HD version lets you choose between modern widescreen format or the original release's 4:3 ratio. A Play Score of 9.07. Digging into number 20 is Shovel Knight. A modern platformer for all ages, Yacht Club Games' award-winning pixel-perfect adventure is a love letter to the classic platformers of the SNES era. Live the troubled life of the adorable Shovel Knight and plow deep into the confines of a mysterious castle to save your kidnapped girlfriend. To this day, it's still a great title with 4 expansions to choose from with their own adventures. A Play Score of 9.09. At number 19, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake. 2020's most anticipated game returned to the adventures of Cloud and his friends as they put a stop to Shinra's corrupt hands. Not just an ordinary remake, this new version altered a ton of elements from its story, combat, and characters, which ultimately makes this a game of its own. Explore the never-before-seen areas of Midgar and relive the best moments of the 1997 Squaresoft classic, with a Play Score of 9.10. Number 18 gives us Monster Hunter World. Capcom's best-selling action RPG series is a gift that keeps on giving. Monster Hunter World's dangerous new creatures send terror to the hearts of new hunters, but for the veterans, it's nothing but child's play, as it came out 2 years ago. However, the best about this title is its massive Iceborne expansion, which adds ferocious beasts that even the veterans couldn't handle alone. A Play Score of 9.10. Rolling into number 17 is Dark Souls 3. Nobody just forgets Dark Souls. The third major installment of From Software's critically acclaimed action RPG may not share the same energy from its previous titles, but it does offer enough hair-pulling moments and gorgeous atmosphere. It's the final Dark Souls game of the series, and it ends on a high note. Yes, it's still hard, and yes, it's still satisfying to kill that one boss who walled you for 24 hours. A Play Score of 9.10. With number 16, we are given Horizon Zero Dawn, another one of PlayStation 4's popular titles. Set in a mystifying post-apocalypse with roaming mechanical creatures, play as the curious Aloy in her journey to seek answers in this primitive version of the future. Armed with your futuristic bow and arrows, topple down metallic beasts of nature in its staggering open-world presentation. A play score of 9.11. Rolling the dice at number 15 is Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition. Larian Studios follows up the success of their first game with this prodigious sequel. Already making a name for themselves thanks to their deep customizations and highly interactive environments, this second installment takes all that to a whole new level of immersion. Each interaction gives you more room for experimentation and other crazy ideas. It's a great game to play with friends as it receives a play score of 9.13. Floating into number 14 is Dreams. The latest project of Little Big Planet creator Media Molecule comes in the form of an experimental and ethereal playground. Expanding upon their create, play, and share feature, Dreams lets players build their own universe from game mechanics, visuals, and music. Its ever-growing community is home to many fantastic creations, and it hurts not to try them all out. It receives a play score of 9.16. Number 13 gives us Bloodborne, the second From Software title on this list. Set in a Victorian-inspired universe, Bloodborne took Lovecraftian horrors to the next level. Playing as a hunter in a world plagued by disease, it has a way of rewarding patient players with expansive narratives and a glorious serving of disfigured monsters to beat down. It's a delicious treat for Dark Souls fans on the PlayStation 4 with a play score of 9.17. Number 12 is Shadow of the Colossus. Another PlayStation 2 classic, remastered by Bluepoint Studios, this refined version of the 2005 masterpiece looks even more beautiful on the PlayStation 4 with enhanced audio and graphics. Strolling around the vast open world with your trusty steed is therapeutic, but feeling bad after taking down one Colossus isn't. It's a spectacle from beginning to end, and it deserves a play score of 9.18. At number 11 is Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Hideo Kojima's swan song to his Metal Gear franchise had polarizing reviews to the gaming community. Despite all the controversy with Kojima and Konami, The Phantom Pain managed to offer the best tactical stealth action in a Metal Gear game ever. It did suffer in terms of storytelling due to Konami's decision to cut content, but overall it's a fantastic game that almost perfected the stealth genre. A play score of 9.25. At number 10 we have Undertale. Toby Fox's weirder video game version of Alice in Wonderland was an unlikely RPG that made waves on the internet due to its huge following. Undertale has gained universal acclaim for turning the usually violent role-playing genre on its head. Adding talking to your arsenal of conflict resolution methods, Undertale becomes a unique experience, and it does not hold your hand on how to handle its many challenges. We haven't even gotten to their jazzy soundtracks and lovable characters. It has a play score of 9.26. Going into number 9 is Resident Evil 2 Remake. 2019 was the year where Capcom got their stuff back together. Resident Evil 2 Remake sent terror to the old and new players with its realistic gore, creeping atmosphere, and tense survival horror aspects. Playing as Leon and Claire as they journey around a zombie-infested Raccoon City is unforgettable, not to mention Mr. X constantly chasing you to the very ends of the earth. A play score of 9.28. Number 8 gives us The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Of course, CD Projekt Red's multi-award winning RPG gets its own place in this list. The final adventure of Geralt of Rivia takes a dangerous turn as the enigmatic Wild Hunt stalks every step. Explore breathtaking mountaintops and dilapidated medieval structures just to fulfill that one monster contract. It's easily considered as one of the best games of all time with its unforgettable story, great side quests, and iconic main character. A play score of 9.29. With number 7, we have Journey. That game company's creation mixes artistic imagery and simple gameplay into one wholesome video game experiment. Play as a robed figure in the orange dunes and traverse the quiet pathways of its ethereal world. It's a game that commits to the silence, partnering you up with people online to serve as companions in the pilgrimage. Communicate through musical chimes and work together to unravel a collection of rewarding puzzles. A play score of 9.30. At number 6 is Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar's open-world playground for mayhem still has enough players around. This massive action game has no rules, aside from its multi-structured campaign, which lets you control 3 playable characters. Once the story mode is over, the game continues in its active online mode. Meet players and wreak havoc around the urban jungle, or prep yourselves for a clean bank heist. A play score of 9.32. Growing up at number 5 is The Last of Us Remastered. Naughty Dog's multi-award-winning post-apocalyptic drama is also available for the PlayStation 4 as a remastered version. Before we get our hands to that elusive sequel, we witness Joel and Ellie's growth in a godforsaken world. Spend the changing seasons together and survive the deadly clicker infestation that plague the planet. This remastered version also includes Ellie's single-player story, Left Behind. It has a play score of 9.41. Adventuring at number 4 is Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. It's clear Naughty Dog knows how to make money for Sony. This final globe-trotting adventure puts Nathan Drake at his most personal quest yet. A Thief's End signifies the series' explosive crescendo with breathtaking visuals and insane set pieces. Despite its linear gameplay, the game makes up for it with its cast of interesting characters and fun action sequences. A play score of 9.44. We never saw it coming at number 3 with Persona 5. PlayStation 4's ultimate JRPG game. Don that mask and reform society as a member of the mysterious Phantom Thieves. Part dungeon crawling turn-based RPG, part social simulation game, live a double life and gather your gang to eliminate society's scum with the power of Persona, an extension of your true self. Compared to P5 Royal, which gained a play score of 9.41, this original version scored a bit higher with a 9.46. It's Rudy Tooty Gun and Shooty at number 2 with Red Dead Redemption 2. The Wild West beckons in Rockstar's rootin' tootin' action-adventure game. Taking place before the events of the original Red Dead Redemption, play as Arthur Morgan, a member of the Vanderlyn gang, and escape from the crosshairs of the law. It was well received due to its staggering presentation of their open world with highly detailed environments. A play score of 9.47. And the best PlayStation 4 game of all time is none other than God of War. The Greek pantheon is no more, a soft reboot to Sony Santa Monica's brutal and epic franchise. God of War explores Kratos as his most vulnerable yet. Journey through the 9 realms with your son, Atreus, and fulfill his mother's dying wish. Still rocking that stylish hack-and-slash combat, God of War continues to redefine its cinematic action roots. A sequel is currently in the works and everyone's dying to know what happens next. It receives a play score of 9.55.